So I'm making an update video here on the 3-gallon Pico taupe tank that I got. Everything's going really good. As you can see, there's a lot more coral in here. Green star polyps are looking pretty good. There's a mushroom that's coming back that was in my other tank that I put in here. There's some pallies there just hanging out. And the reason why they look like that is because I just did a water change on this tank. I actually do quite a bit of water changes on this tank for the reason alone that I have the sun coral in here, and it's actually starting to do better. When I got it, it was not coming out at all, and I am training it now to come out during the daytime for feeding. This is probably the most that I've seen it come out, but I do have a few polyps here that come out and they do accept food, and I have been feeding them. The rest of them seem to only come out just a slight bit. I don't really see them ever fully come out, so I'm still waiting on that. But I think a big part of my success is just like what I've read and tried is feed it every day around the same time, and every day between 3 and 4 o'clock I just start hitting this thing with looks like this little tiny little baster here. It's like a pipette sort of thing, and I use brine shrimp to get it interested, and then I throw out some frozen food and feed it to the polyps that have come out, and they grab it. And to get the flow in this tank, I have 2 filters, 2 hang on the backs, one that came in the tank, and I have an AquaClear 20, and I have the AquaClear dialed down to like its lowest setting, otherwise it'd be blowing everything all around here. But what I've been doing to keep the quality of the water pretty good is I feed the sun coral every other day, and just about every other day I do about a half a gallon to a gallon water change, just because I don't want to mess up the parameters in this tank just because it's so small. But as you can see, I mean, for the most part, I'm gonna add some sand on this Kenya tree, but for the most part everything in here is doing really well. Everything's thriving. This has grown since I've gotten it. These are starting to open back up since the water change, and the zoanthus there is actually growing some new polyps as well, and I got that out of the other tank as well. But everything's going good. If anybody's owned a sun coral or has any advice for me on feeding the sun coral, I tried the whole bottle over it, and to be honest with you, it's just easier to turn the pumps off in here and just keep hitting it with food, and that seems to be working. But has anybody had success of training one to be completely outdoor in the daytime? And if you have, please comment and let me know what you've done to do so, how long it took, because this is actually going on a week and a half that I've had it, and this is the best that I've seen it in a week and a half. It's not fully coming out yet, and if it's not really struggling just yet. If I do see that it is struggling and their polyps stop accepting food after a while, I'm probably just going to throw in my sump in my other big tank, just so I have more water volume to work with. But right now I'm going to keep it in here, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until I see that there's an issue with what I'm doing. Anyway, please comment, rate, and subscribe. I would love to hear from you about your sun corals and how you got them to open up fully, because I would love for this guy to open up. It's one of my favorite corals, but unfortunately I'm still in the stage of getting it used to being in this tank. Have a good day.